Free beer and hot wings in the morning. Grand Rapids rocks all day. 97.9 GRD rocks.
Chamber of Commerce Day, partly cloudy, 64 the high. In the summer, we'd complain about this, but right now it's the best thing that's happened to us in the last 2 decades.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Yeah. Talk to me in July. I'll go, why is it so foggy?
Right?
Right now, this is amazing.
Yeah. We're going to help make some plans for you coming up on Thursday, March 2nd at the is it Steel Club? Style Club. Mm-hmm. I can't read. 235 Straight Avenue. It is the Boys and Girls Club of Grand Rapids Youth of the Year Luncheon. Rick joins us with the Boys and Girls Club. I assume you're the owner.
I am the executive director.
You started it, right? The Boys and Girls Club.
This was your idea.
Just got underway.
Yep.
Yeah.
You oversaw the grand opening in 1939.
That's right. That was me.
Yeah.
This is pretty fantastic. What is the Youth of the Year Luncheon?
Well, the Youth of the Year Luncheon, of course, with the Boys and Girls Clubs, this is a national program that starts locally. So our kids get a chance to participate in Youth of the Year. They go through an application process, and to become Youth of the Year for Grand Rapids is something that would be pretty special for one of our members to be. And we're excited to be able to recognize our Youth of the Year next week, Thursday, at our luncheon. And what it comes down to, it's going to be an opportunity for them to tell their story about how they've gotten to where they've gotten in life, and how big the Boys and Girls Clubs has meant to them and to their lives.
And then they go to a state level, right?
That's exactly right. So once they qualify here in Grand Rapids, then they go to a state level. If they win that, they go to a regional with the opportunity to go to a national level and a $50,000 scholarship.
Whoa.
So it's pretty special.
What kind of criteria are they looking for Youth of the Year?
You know what? That's a great question. It's basically, when it comes down to it, it's being able to tell their story about what the Boys and Girls Clubs means to them and where they might be if it wasn't for a place like the Boys and Girls Clubs. And I got to tell you, some of the stories some of these kids have to tell is absolutely incredible. I mean, the impact that they have on not only our audience, but on the judges who are part of the judging process. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, it's a pretty special program.
Of course. Where are nationals? Where do they go for that?
Washington, D.C.
Very cool.
Absolutely.
How spectacular would that be?
Oh my gosh! I'll tell you,
it would be.
There was a representative, actually, the Boys and Girls Club winner in Holland went to the Nationals last year. So that's definitely a special honor because there's only 8 that go to the national program. So
wow.
I was going to say, even if the scholarship doesn't work out, what a life-changing event that would be.
Absolutely. Locally, we have a $1,000 scholarship that goes to the winner. Each participant is getting an iPad. I mean, it's just some things, obviously, that go with it. But the recognition of being the Boys and Girls Clubs of Grand Rapids Youth of the Year is something that that we feel that it's pretty special.
For someone that doesn't know, walk everybody through like a typical day at the Boys and Girls Club.
You got it.
And who gets involved and everything else.
No, our kids basically come to us. It's an after-school program, so we are there for them when otherwise they would maybe not have a place to go after school, or maybe mom or dad or their parents are working. So they'll have a place to come. They come in. They'll get the first thing we ask most of our kids is, "Do you have homework today?" Mm-hmm. So they come. They go through our learning center. They get their homework taken care of. Now, of course, we don't want to be school after school. We want to be a place that provides multiple opportunities for all of our kids. So yes, we do have a learning center. We have an art room. We have many sports programs, and ultimately, it is a safe place. It is a place where there are mentors there for them. I mean, I think all of us around this table can be able to talk about who in our lives has made a difference in our lives to help get us to where we are today. And I think ultimately that's the type of place that I want to have. Currently we have 3 locations. We have over 3,000 members. So every day, about 350 kids come into our doors, and we're open from 3 p.m. till 8 p.m. And again, like I mentioned, we have multiple programs available. We also have a hot meal for every kid that comes through our doors. So
there we go. Now we're talking. How old do you have to be to come here, man?
Joe heard food. Yeah. By the way, I thought Rick was going to say everybody around this table could be a mentor, and I'm like, boy, this guy doesn't listen to the show.
Oh, no kidding. I know.
We've had mentors. Yes, okay.
We've had them.
I agree with that.
I was so relieved when he said you've had mentors.
Yeah,
they failed, but
I needed your club, man, because if you had asked me at age 12, who's your mentor? Mm-hmm. I would have said, well, of course, it's Joe Camel.
It's Chef Boyardee.
He's the guy I see most after school in the cups my parents have bought with Camel Cash and other random things. Right?
Yeah, a place to go after school. But involved in a program. That's a big deal.
Still need it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our kids are ages 6 years old to 18, so it's first grade through senior year high school. So it's a pretty large group, obviously. But Grand Rapids Public Schools is doing a great job, and we're just helping to fill that gap of need after school. And I also want to mention we also have a special program in place that partners us with the Grand Rapids Police Department. Many people don't know this, but our organization back in 1938 that you originally referred to was started by the Grand Rapids Police Department. So Superintendent O'Malley noticed that there were just too many youth arrests going on in that year. There was 147 youth arrests back in 1938. And then a year later, they decided to offer something for our kids after school. And then the next year, there was 4 arrests. So they saw
That's incredible.
Jeez, what a drop.
They just saw that the program like that can work, right?
Yeah.
So and
every
today,
program dreams of that kind of result.
that's
Yeah,
exactly
that's
right.
amazing.
No doubt about it. So it's again, the partnership that we have with Grand Rapids Police Department allows them to also have a police officer in each one of our locations every day. Now, these police officers are assigned to us, but they're also running programs. They're an opportunity for our kids to see the police officers in a positive light.
Right.
When unfortunately, many times they're knocking on their doors, their neighbors' doors, or seeing officers in a little bit more of a negative light.
Sure.
So this is a great opportunity for them to get to know one another and their families as well.
I think that's a very spectacular part of it.
Yes.
The luncheon.
great.
The luncheon is March 2nd, Thursday. Registration starts at 11:30. The luncheon begins around noon. You're going to end around 1. It's free.
Yes,
right?
sir,
So
it's free.
if you want to go and get a glimpse of what this means to the boys and girls that are participating in the programs and everything else, and probably leave inspired,
Yeah.
this isn't even going to cost you a dime.
I'm telling you, when you hear their stories, you will be inspired. That's 100% true. And right now we have about 240 guests or so confirmed. We have enough room for about 350. So love to have your listeners be a
pack
part
it
of
in.
this, and let's get as many people there as possible that can, hear the impact of the stories that our kids have to tell.
And you can go to, bgcgrandrapids.org?
That's exactly
for
right.
more info and to register.
Yes, you got it.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance and been with the Boys and Girls Club long enough where you've seen somebody that you saw when they were a kid, and maybe you thought, boy, this guy or this girl, it's going to be a tough path, and then the change, and they come back and say, wow, this was, I'm sure you have. This
Absolutely.
Stories probably happen every day.
They do. And, I'm here about 5 years now. Of course, we talked about my background being a former professional baseball player and then going to work for our family business. But, as a member of the Kansas City Royals back in 1996, the Boys and Girls Clubs was introduced to me for the first time. So that's, over 20 years ago. And it impacted my life in a way that to be able to know and understand where most kids or many kids might be if it wasn't for a place like the Boys and Girls Clubs just pulled me in, man. And, to understand that at a higher level and to, like you mentioned, see some of the kids who, you didn't think maybe had much of a chance in life, but then just put it all together.
Yeah, right.
Last year we were able to hear from one of our former members, Cesar Vargas, who is now a graduate of the University of Michigan. Kayvon Frazier. I know we talked about Kayvon. Kayvon's has an incredible story of his own, and somebody who is now, he's on the Dallas Cowboys. So
Right, yeah.
I can go
Right.
on and on. There's plenty of great stories to tell. I have a current employee, Myra Cardenas. She is a former Youth of the Year winner, and now she's an employee and works at the Boys and
That's
Girls Clubs
awesome.
with
How
our
cool.
kids.
Like it meant enough she wanted to come back and be a part of it.
You got
That's
it.
Fantastic.
You got it.
BGCgrandrapids.org if you want to go to the luncheon or just learn more. Maybe there's a kid in your life would benefit from a program. I'm sure you can get that as well.
Absolutely. You
Yes.
just let us know how we can help with that anytime.
Good stuff, Rick.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me,
Our
guys.
pleasure,
you, man,
for coming
We're all
in.
leaving. We're going to National Margarita Day. Russ is buying.
Yeah. Thanks,
Russ.
Man, that is awesome,
See you there.
boss.
GRD.